at 7-4. Ohio State with the nation's longest winning streak, 23 in a row. Michigan won the toss and deferred. Ohio State will receive, and it'll be Matt Weil set to kick off. Jordan Hall and Dontre Wilson are back deep. This one will go out of the back of the end zone. First down, and it's Carlos Hyde straight ahead for almost 7 yards.
Braxton Miller has taken his game to a new level.
Here he is off play action. Plenty of time, throws wide open, but he missed Devin Smith. That was thrown a little bit high behind him on their opening possession.
Part of the reason they've been so good on third down is that Braxton Miller is such a dangerous runner when things break down. On 3rd and 3, you have to account for him.
Here he is in the shotgun. And here he comes, and he's got the first down. Right on cue, picks up 4, and they'll move the chains. Only one time this year they haven't scored on their opening drive. That's amazing. Here's Hyde taking it to the left side and out near the 40-yard line.
Incredible recovery in the last 2 weeks, the healthiest he's been.
Hyde breaks into the secondary, and Carlos Hyde, his first big run of the day, down to the 42-yard line, a pickup of 19.
The inside linebackers for Michigan are not particularly big guys. They're pretty quick. But again, Carlos Hyde is 230 pounds, and unless you see him on the field, you don't understand how big he is.
Play action, Miller in trouble, and down he goes. Then Gillian.
Used to play AAU basketball with my son Harrison. Tremendous athlete, and he is beginning more and more playing time over the last few weeks. Very smart kid, really coming along.
You were telling me, and so was Greg Madison. He's such a nice kid, and he's such a good student, but he gets on the field and something clicks.
He's got a little nasty streak to him, which you need to play defense.
Second down at 15. And Braxton Miller on a quarterback draw. Miller got back near the original line of scrimmage, getting it again, and on the stop. And a pistol set, and now they switch over. It's Elliott in the backfield with Miller. Braxton's got plenty of time, and he's going to go long. Double coverage down there in the end zone, tipped and incomplete. Johnston to kick. End over end punt. They're just going to let this one go and hope it makes the end zone. And it did not. Great job by the special teams of Ohio State at the 1-yard line.
5 different combinations they've tried up front through 11 games. Their tackles are seniors, but everybody on the inside that they've tried, all sophomore and freshmen, very difficult place to start right here.
About 8 yards deep for the tailback, but he gets out to the 4. That's Derek Green, the biggest of their backs at 240 pounds. Second down at 6 from their own 5. Opening possession for the Wolverines. Again, Green is in the end zone. They fake it to him, and Gardner goes complete out across the 10, near the 14 to Jeremy Gallen. So some breathing room now for Michigan at the 14-yard line. Gardner, the throwback screen to Gallen. And Gallen with some blockers in front, and Gallen is off to the races. He might take it right here. Gallen down the sideline, and he is down at the 2-yard line.
What's a good start look like for Gardner? He's had a couple consecutive completions. Well, there's 2 in a row to Gallen. Beautifully executed on the wide receiver screen. Taylor Lewan, their key tackle, paves the way, and a great start for Devin Gardner and Jeremy Gallen.
First and goal at the 2. Green, the tailback, in the eye. He'll get the carry. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Might have eked out a half yard. Toussaint now checks in at tailback. He's the senior out of Youngstown, Ohio. On the option, Gardner keeps and scores. Touchdown, Michigan. Extra point by Weil is up and good. And the kick out of the back of the end zone. Let's see if Ohio State's got an answer now as they start from the 25-yard line for the second time here in the first quarter. They moved it into Michigan territory the first time and were forced to punt after Gideon came up with a sack of Braxton Miller. Miller in the gun. Rides it to Hyde. Keeps it himself. Broke one tackle, but not two as Joe Bolden made the tackle. Hyde stood up after a pickup of a couple. Gideon's been all over the field so far today. And it's an inside pitch to Philly Brown. Brown, nice move. Looks like he's got the first down. They've been outstanding in the first quarter. Find themselves trailing in this particular quarter. It's halfway over.
You mentioned Braxton Miller really taking his game to a new level since Northwestern. That's been mental and physical.
He keeps this one. He's tough to bring down even when you get the first hit on him. Second down and 6. All three wide receivers to the top of your screen, but they keep it on the ground, and spinning for another first down is Hyde. Pickup of 7. Evan Spencer in motion. Play fake. Braxton Miller firing that way and behind Spencer, who had a step over there, and that's the second time Braxton Miller has missed an open receiver. Dontre Wilson over in the slot. Braxton Miller, that looked like it was not a design run for him, and he gets nothing. Desmond Morgan hanging on to his leg to bring him down.
The two that they converted were for 6 yards or less.
Miller going to air it out long. He's got a man out there. Got him. Devin Smith. Touchdown. Drew Basil in for the point after. And we're tied in Ann Arbor.
Right now, both offensive coordinators, Al Borges for Michigan, Tom Herman for Ohio State, calling beautiful games.
That's Funchess, a tight end, coming into a slot on the right side on first down. And they're going to throw it out to him with a blocker in front, and then a hurdle job by Funchess. Wow.
What a play. And Funchess, wow.
That's incredible athletic ability for the sophomore, who's already had the best tight end season in Michigan history. Top 10 plays, here I come.
And a block by Jehu Chesson, the other wide receiver out there, kept him clean too.
Inside the red zone again. Gardner play action. Goes to the corner of the end zone. Gallen touchdown.
Because he is seeing everything right now from the quarterback position.
Extra point is good of the year. This one should be returnable for Dontre Wilson from a yard deep. And he's collared as he crossed the 15-yard line.
After the play was over, we have unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 52 of Michigan. Michigan's that way. Michigan that way. That's an ejection. Ohio State, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 1. That's an ejection. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Ohio State, number 79 with an ejection. The ball will be placed at the end of the run.
I mean, Maurice Hall shouldn't even have been on the field. He came off the sideline because it was a special teams play. There's Maurice Hall. He was on the sideline. He wasn't even out there for the play.
Now it's going to be interesting to see how the officials control the next 3 quarters, because it's going to stay heated for a while. If you're just joining us, Michigan leads by a touchdown and a seesaw back and forth battle. And now Ohio State has lost 2 players to ejection. Michigan has lost a backup linebacker in Royce Jenkins Stone.
So that puts Pat Elflein, number 65, is now in the game, playing offensive guard in place of Marcus Hall. talked about this offensive line for Ohio State. It's been the backbone of this team. 4 seniors, 1 sophomore, and Taylor Decker. Now they've had to reshuffle for the first time this season.
Carlos Hyde will try to calm things a little bit. Falls forward for close to 5. In the pistol. Straight up the middle is Hyde. And Hyde bounces into the secondary and out to the 38-yard line. 16 more yards. You mentioned they average almost 7 yards every time they touch it on the ground. He's averaging 8.4 right now. Miller, play action. Wanted to go back out to Hyde, I think, but Joe Bolden wouldn't let him. Miller steps up and goes long down the middle, and it hits the back of the defender, Josh Furman. They've done well today on 3rd down and have been all year. 3-man rush on Miller. Plenty of time. Long again down the middle. This one is intercepted. Picked off by Blake Countess. First turnover of the game. And Countess, who leads the Big Ten in interceptions, has his 6th of the year.
The last play was Braxton Miller got a little greedy. Has not done that much here over this last month. Tried to get one too big that time.
Here's a fly sweep to Gallen again. And Jeremy Gallen got a first down. Run out of bounds on the Michigan sideline. Here's Gardner. This might be a double pass. Gallen back to Gardner. A little pitch and catch. Didn't work very well. Again, we said Al Borges was going to pull out all the stops, and he has so far in the first half, the offensive coordinator for Michigan. Here's Toussaint. Nice move to get out across the 35 to the 37. 3rd down and 2. Gardner trying to stiff arm, flags are down. He got the corner in the first down, but again, penalty markers on the play as he's run out of bounds.
Illegal formation. 5 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Big 3rd down here for Michigan after that interception by Countess. Trying to take advantage of it here. 3rd down and 7. Blitz coming from the Buckeyes. Gardner got leveled and he threw it right back to Roby, but I don't think he held on to it.
Joshua Perry, number 37, is the guy that's going to get to the quarterback. It's a poor decision by Gardner. Roby just not able to hold on to it. Now they need to protect their punter because that is something Ohio State does extremely well. Bradley Roby, 3 career punt blocks, and they don't lose if you're an Urban Meyer team if they block a punt.
Wild gets this one out of there. Jordan Hall with a fair catch at the other end. Trailing by a touchdown, trying to keep their season perfect. Swing pass out to Hyde. Nice job by Cam Gordon to run him out of bounds after a short gain. 2nd down and 7. It's Hyde again, straight up the middle, and the pile moves in his direction until Michigan backs him up, and he's still standing. 3rd down and 4. He wants to throw, but he might not have a chance. And now he does on the run, and he's got it to Philly Brown out of bounds, but a flag is down.
Beautiful job by Braxton Miller, eluding pressure, and yet never taking his eyes off it downfield. That's the difference between Braxton Miller as a 3rd-year starter and Braxton Miller the first time he played here as a freshman.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Number 86 of the offense. He was covered up. 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
So Carlos Hyde on the sideline because Jordan Hall is in there as a receiver. Here's Braxton Miller. He's not going to get to the first down stick. Nice job by Michigan's defense to stretch it out.
One guy is not going to tackle Braxton Miller in space. You've got to get bodies around him, hem him in, pin him on the sideline, and then you can get him to the ground.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense, number 57. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Wow, how big is that? And it's Carlos Hyde, tough yardage again, 5 more to the 49. And Braxton Miller in the shotgun will keep it. Cuts to the outside, and Braxton Miller down the sideline all the way to the 28-yard line.
Penalty flag.
Holding offense, number 68. 10-yard penalty, replay 3rd down.
Taylor Decker, the right tackle. Miller, plenty of time here. Now running out of it and trying to get away from it. Anyway, Taco Charlton brings him down at the line of scrimmage. And Jeremy Gallen waits back deep. Gallen trying to clear everybody out of the way. Almost hits one of his teammates. And it will roll dead at the 16-yard line.
He has to really be smart here in the final 6 minutes of the first half.
Run a draw play to Green. And Derrick only got about 2 yards. Michael Bennett on the interior of that Ohio State defense made the stop. Toussaint, the senior, comes back into the Michigan backfield. He scored once today. They fake the end around, a throwback to Toussaint with a blocker in front. And he sets up his blockers, but still, nice stop by Joshua Perry to bring him down short of the first down. Gardner wants to throw. Got away from the rush. He's got the first down and then some. All the way out to the 36. Right now, Michigan, no turnovers, no sacks allowed, and they're closing in on 300 yards of offense here in the first half. Gardner in trouble. Well, there's the first sack. Shazier brings him down with help from his friends at the end of the year in the playoffs. Low pass, but a nice pickup by Funchess to take it off his shoe tops. Pick up only 3 yards. Gardner in the shotgun. Play action. Wanted to get a quick throw out on a wide receiver screen, and Shazier blew that thing up. Wild to punt.
You have to be alert for their punt rush.
Got it out of there. Nobody really back for Ohio State, and so Michigan's going to down it inside the 10-yard line.
One bad decision on 3rd and long, forcing the ball down the middle.
Straight up the gut is Hyde, and he takes some maize and blue with him for about 7 more yards. They've done a nice job with long drives this year, starting inside their own. Here comes Hyde again, and he's out to the 29. Miller, play fake, deep middle, wide open on the run is a tight end, and it's Hireman with a big gainer down inside the 35-yard line.
Good read by Braxton Miller, getting the ball to his tight end.
First down at the 33. Again, off a play action, deep ball over the head of Devin Smith. Miller down the middle again and throws a strike to Chris Fields. 5 times they've scored in the final minutes of the half. Trying to make it number 6. Miller waiting, buys himself some time, and has to throw it away. Miller again in the pocket. Now running out of the pocket. Directs traffic, and now he'll keep it. And Braxton Miller walks in. Touchdown, Ohio State. 21 yards. Too many guys had their back turned. Nobody turned around to try to tackle it. We're an extra point away from being tied again. And Basil does the honors.
Michigan will get the ball to start the second half. They won the coin toss and deferred to the second half. I would expect them to be fairly conservative here on this last drive, unless they get a big return somehow.
They had a big return earlier in the ball game, but it was called back on a holding penalty. This one will be returnable as well. Norfleet from the 2. He's the guy that had the long one in the first quarter. And not this time. He's not going to quite make it to the 20-yard line. So there have been some undefeated seasons that the Wolverines have messed up for the Buckeyes. They're trying to do it here again today. As Todd said, conservative, but Derek Green, that might change their mind a little bit. He goes out for 12 to 13 yards.
Big Michigan win.
Here they fake the pass and come back with Green again. And Green got 3 more. And now the fans here in Michigan are booing.
Yeah, I think it's the right move. You get the ball to start the third quarter. Your team has played Ohio State, the #3 team in the country, off their feet. Go to the locker room, talk about what you want to do in the second half, expect the adjustments from Ohio State, and it starts at 0-0 again for the final 30 minutes.
Well, we've had big plays. We've had a dust-up, as Todd would call it, a fight that sent 3 players to the locker room for the rest of the day. And through a half, a little bit of talking going on right now as both teams are heading to the huddle. And they're going to try to separate everybody down there before we have another dust-up here at halftime. Basile a kickoff. Norfleet and Justice Hayes are back deep for the Wolverines. High short kick. Be fielded at the 10 by Norfleet. And Norfleet's got the edge. He could go. We got a flag down as he takes it down the sideline. Knocked out of bounds, but again, it's all coming back.
On the return, holding, receiving team number 32. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
Davion Smith in the backfield with Devin Gardner. Quick throw across the middle, incomplete, intended for Jake Butt, the freshman tight end. We're in Ann Arbor, the big house, where we're tied at 7. Blitz coming, and here comes an end around and maybe a pass. Nope, it's Funchess, and Funchess broke a tackle and then drills Bradley Roby at the end of the run.
We have somebody down for Michigan at the end of the play, slow to get up.
That's Lawan. Pretty sure Roby didn't like the end of the play either. 3rd down at 4. Gardner, quick throw. Dilio's got it for a first down. And a first down for the Wolverines. They keep the drive alive with just under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Gardner, play action. Throws, and wide open is the tight end. And it's Jake Butt down inside the 25.
And when Devin Gardner was able to extend the play with his legs, he was able to find the tight end in the middle of the defense.
Butt was down there just waving his arms.
Yeah, totally unaccounted for by the Buckeye defense.
That's a career-long catch for the freshman tight end, and he's got it at the 22-yard line with a Michigan first down. Gallen on the end around. Gallen getting the edge, puts his head down. It's going to be 1st and goal, Wolverines. 1st and goal at the 8. And it's Smith. Got to the 5 and then stood up by Joshua Perry in a pistol set on 2nd down and goal. The option pitch. And this is an easy touchdown to Sop for the score. Just inside the right upright.
They've done what they needed to do early in the game to give them confidence to try to take this thing all the way to the 4th quarter.
And again, Wild drives it deep into the end zone with 2:11 remaining in the first quarter.
Unbelievable.
So now let's see if Ohio State's got an answer. From the 25, it's Hyde, and he just drags Wolverines for 5 yards.
Over 370 yards a game rushing.
And here's Hyde into the secondary again. Knocks it out to the 40-yard line before Avery made the stop. 10 more yards for Hyde.
Running right behind the center, Corey Lindsley, one of those 4 senior starters. He and Jack Muir are the 2 leaders up front, the emotional leaders of that O-line.
And again, he almost popped it out of the backside. This has got Miller written all over it right here. Empty backfield. And there he goes on the quarterback draw. And he's into the secondary. Great move. And now the speed in the middle of the field looking for a stiff arm touchdown, Ohio State. What a run. Up and good.
Watch the first guy, Heinzman, number 92. He makes him miss, and then right in the middle of the field, you got no chance. If you're this guy right here, and he can go either way on you, you got no chance. It's Courtney Avery. See ya. Touchdown, Ohio State.
Norfleet had a long kick return, brought back by a holding penalty. He's going to take this one 2 yards deep and bring it out. They got across the 20 and out to the 22-yard line. Derek Green, the tailback. And they give it off to him, and Green's got a big opening. And he goes for 11 yards and a first down. Gardner again under center on first down. Play action bootleg and a throwback screen to the tight end Butt. And here's Jake Butt again. And Butt weaving his way through the traffic all the way down inside the 40. And what a first quarter the freshman tight end's having.
And watch how this big tight end sets up both blocks. He's patient. He allows them to get to their man and cuts in between the two linemen for extra yardage after the screen.
That's the end of the
first quarter was a great one. Drew Basil to kick. And we're underway in quarter number 3. And they'll bring it out to the 25 for Michigan. Toussaint in at tailback with Gardner in the shotgun. He wants to throw on the first play, and he does. Wide. Oh, Funchess dropped it. Should have had it. Should have had a first down.
I don't know if the old Gladiator stadiums only have one tunnel.
They probably did. Here's a carry by Green, and Derek Green got out close to the 30 before they bring him down. And his drop here makes it 3rd down and 5. Gardner's in trouble. Down he goes, way back at the 15-yard line. It's Michael Bennett.
When they get in definite pass situations, they're at a disadvantage. Noah Spence is the first guy to force Gardner to feel like he needed to leave the pocket, and he ran right into Michael Bennett. First possession, they get a 3rd and long.
First time a 3 and out for Michigan. And not the greatest punt in the world either. Ohio State's going to have great field. Whoa, maybe not. Wow. Almost lost the ball. At the 48-yard line, trying to take it on a hop was Jordan Hall. So the first snap of the 3rd quarter offensively, and a nice play by Jake Ryan off the edge. You saw that one coming, number 47, and he drops him for a loss of 3.
Michigan is not a defense that changes a lot once they make their initial call. Ohio State trying to take advantage of that.
Here's Miller, play action and rolling. To his left, finally throws and got his man.
I don't know if he was, I think he had a foot out of bounds and it's going to be incomplete. Either that or he caught it and stepped out of bounds immediately. Nope, incomplete.
Yep, they bring it back.
But he has to know where his feet are on the sideline.
Oh, you're right. The right heel came down, out of bounds. Again, blitz on the way. Miller down the middle. And that one skips off the hands of his intended receiver. It's a beauty. It's going to be too good all the way to the end zone.
You know, Brady Hoke
he calls
is an
him
Ohio guy. Calls him Ohio. Started doing that when he was an 11 or 12-year-old guy. He liked to tick off all the kids in his neighborhood that were Ohio State fans.
Here's a quick throw and a nice open field tackle by Duran Grant. Gardner pressure from behind, got it away, and a great catch by Dilio.
Wow.
Fakes it to him, bootleg. Just a little shovel pass to the fullback, Carriage. Nice little hesitation step in the hole by Davion Smith, who's got a first down. They lost last year 26-21. 2 years ago, they won by 5 points. Derek Green again as they continue to shuffle backs in there. On 2nd down and 9, they want to throw a middle screen. Got it to Toussaint. And he got to the 45, pick up a 4. 3rd down and 5. And we've got movement and flags. And I think Kyle Kalis may have come out of his stance, the left guard.
False start, offense, number 67.
3rd down and 10. Gardner, quarterback draw. And Gardner's not going to get there, but he got about 7 or 8 of it back, but he left the ball on the ground. Let's see, was it a fumble? And the ball still popping around out there. It is Ohio State ball.
Gardner makes a pretty nice decision to run. It's a quarterback draw all the way, a called run. Was he down before the ball came out? Shazier was the guy who was bringing him to the ground. I think his knee might have been down before the ball came out.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. First down, Ohio State.
So Ohio State first down at its own 45-yard line. Going to give it off. Nope, they fake it to Brown, and it's Miller going for 15 on his own. 98 yards on the ground. Not a big passing day, but he's doing it with his legs. And now he goes back to the power man, Carlos Hyde. All three wide receivers to the top of your screen. And it's Hyde. Carlos Hyde, tough to catch, tough to bring down, tripped up inside the 5.
Well, and that little move and the quickness of his feet is what makes Carlos Hyde special. Well, watch this little move. Boom, jumps, bounces to the outside, and eludes a cornerback, Raymond Taylor, at 230 pounds.
This time he's going to be brought down at the line of scrimmage. And this guy can really do a lot of different things when you're down at that point. Miller to the end zone, touchdown. Braxton Miller, a 3-yard scoring run. Basil's extra point gives Ohio State a touchdown lead. Now playing with a lead for the first time, and for Michigan trying to come from behind for the first time. Norfleet on the kick return, and he won't make the 20-yard line. All right, so we'll keep our eye on number 98. That's why you saw Shane Morris, the backup quarterback, warming up a little bit earlier after Gardner came out following that fumble. Now the Wolverines start at the 17-yard line. Play action, quick slant, and a nice throw. Jake Butt, who's having a big game, the backup tight end, picks up 11. Draw play, Derek Green, and that only got about 2. And there might only be 1 loss between them when they get together, if things hold up here. This row complete out to Chesson, and Chesson's got a first down.
The key is for them to avoid 3rd down and 7+ situations.
Play fake, first down throw into traffic, incomplete, intended for Gallen. They'll keep it on the ground. And a good run by Davion Smith. A big run by Davion Smith.
Devin Smith did a nice job hanging behind his blockers and then broke 1 tackle, and that was all he needed. Cameron Williams, number 55, had a clean shot at him.
Well, Davion Smith with a 38-yarder. They'll try him again. So the true freshman out of Warren, Ohio, one of those Ohio kids out there playing strong for Michigan. Here the Wolverines are in the red zone again. Don't want to waste an opportunity to tie this game up. 2nd down and 4. They keep it on the ground. They're just going to work number 32 until they can stop him, and that time C.J. Barnett does. They're trying to get to the 12-yard line for another first down. Bunches on the move, 3rd down and 2. Gardner lobs it out there and tried to get it to him, but he was going to his left, and you could tell lack of mobility there. He couldn't set his feet, and here he is going for it on 4th down and 2. So it's in the hands of Devin Gardner. Ohio State a blitz off the corner. Gardner's in trouble. Got rid of it at the last second. Did Billio catch it? No. Carlos Hyde. All the way out to the 34-yard line. When you got the lead and you got this guy, you got things going your way.
Yeah. Frank Clark just ran himself right past the play, left a big opening on the left side for Hyde.
And it's Hyde again, and he's got 10 more, and he's got 179 on the day. Carlos gets a breather, and Jordan Hall will take his spot. Braxton Miller, quarterback draw. And Braxton Miller into the secondary, got a block inside the 40 and tiptoes out of bounds at the end of another first down run of 17 yards.
And it's a helpless feeling if you're a defense and cannot slow down a running game.
Both guys averaging over 8 yards a pop. And Jordan Hall gets in the mix with a 4-yard gain there as we're down around 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. This time a stiff arm got him to the corner. And he takes another would-be tackler out of bounds. Be it BCS, Rose Bowl, National Championship, all depends on what goes on in the next couple weeks. There's a wide open tight end Hireman. Touchdown Ohio State. Another long scoring drive. Again after taking over on downs. And what a difference it can be. The kick goes right where Norfleet was standing at the goal line. And again, he's not going to make it to the 20-yard line. So Michigan now in a 2-touchdown hole. Ohio State has scored 21 now unanswered points. Michigan's got to have an answer here. We only have 16 minutes left to play. Gardner in trouble again. Finally got rid of it at the last moment to Toussaint. And he got 8 yards out of it. But we've still got a whole quarter to go. So they're 3-14 right now. Looking like they have been all year. That's Derek Green brought down by Shazier after a short gain.
The reason I say first down is now the critical down for Michigan is they're not a good third down team, especially when it's 7 yards or more needed. They have not done a great job protecting their quarterback. Their quarterback's a little banged up right now. They're 2 of 7 on third down. So first down productivity, which they had in the first half, becomes paramount now in the fourth quarter.
Play fake. Gardner loads and fires. Got his man Gallen on the run. And Gallen almost to midfield. Another big game for Jeremy Gallen as the third quarter comes to a close. They've got a first down at their own 48-yard line. Gardner going to go deep on the first play and incomplete. Devin Gardner was really hot early. Of course, 84 of that 238 was on a pass to Gallen, who took it all the way down to the 2-yard line, and they scored subsequently on that drive. This time, trying to go out to Funchess again. Funchess is saying, hey, this guy's draped all over me.
Yeah, Joshua Perry had his hands all over Funchess. I'm not sure the pass was really well thrown.
Holding defense, number 37. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Again, this drive has to end in a touchdown for Michigan if they have any hopes of staying in this football game.
They run the stretch play to Toussaint, and Toussaint weaving his way through traffic and then knocked out of bounds. Davion Smith back in at tailback. He's been active today for the Wolverines in the ground game. They'll try him again. This time he loses one.
This play by Roby.
Funchess has done a nice job on the tight end spot, but Jake Butt has actually outplayed him today, the other tight end. There's trips to that side, and the pitch comes back the other way. Toussaint got about 3, third down and 7. Jeremy Gallen's had a big game, but not a big half so far. Gardner fires into the tight end, and it is Jake Butt, first down. Green's the tailback in the eye. They're going to stack him up at the line again and drop him for a loss one more time. Desperately needing a touchdown on this march. Gardner, quick play fake, throwing again to this time the fullback. And that's the second catch of the day for Carriage. But again, he's been hobbled a little bit after that hit he took where he fumbled. Here comes the blitz. Gardner trying to scramble around. Does get away. Throws on the run. And he's got it to Dillio for the touchdown. Weil in for the point after. And it's up and good. And it's an 83-yard touchdown drive in 11 plays. Took almost 5 minutes. And now we just have 7 points separating us in the 109th meeting between Ohio State and Michigan. And now they go back to work in the backfield and play action. Braxton Miller will do the honors here, and a little stutter step and then walks out of bounds without taking a hit. 2nd and 7. Blitz coming off the corner. And it's Hyde going the other way and still driving. And he's got a first down and the ball's out. Michigan's got it. Hyde trying to get extra yardage at the end of the play.
The only question, we haven't seen it. There's the signal there. As he's fighting, they're ripping the ball out. I think it was number 30, Thomas Gordon, who was late to the party that stripped the ball out.
And I think Desmond Morgan's the guy that recovered it.
Michigan with 478 yards of offense. Already their 2nd most prolific game of the season. Got to keep it up on first down.
Toussaint, did he get leveled? Michigan 2nd down and 9. Blitz coming from the Buckeyes. Gardner has time. Going deep. Man there. Funches. 3rd down and 9. But the other tight end in motion. Gardner rolls to his right, has to stop on a dime, and now he's going to run. And he's got a first down on a bad ankle.
Fake out Roby, take care of the football, and get a fresh set of downs for your offense.
That's some improv to get you invited back on a paying night at a comedy club. First down at the 26. Gardner fires. Far side. Gallen couldn't quite get to it. And it's a sweep to Gallen, hitting the backfield, and he can't get away. Too many Buckeyes, a loss of 2. Gardner steps into his throw, and he's got Gallen, but Gallen, he's got it.
He lost something, but not the football.
Not the football.
We saw that in the Michigan State game. The first pass of the game, he lost his mouthpiece and held on to the football. I don't know if this was a mouthpiece or what it was, but he sure didn't lose the football. And another tough throw on 3rd and long by Gardner.
Right on the money. Smith to the 9, where Joey Bosa puts the stop on it. 8th play of the Wolverine drive. Gardner throws on the run, snagged by Gallen, knocked out of bounds though. At about the 5-yard line. As Todd said, they don't need it all in one gulp. Throws to the goal line and incomplete. Billio's the guy that's saying incomplete because it was almost intercepted by Ohio State. At the 4-yard line of the Buckeyes. Gallen in motion. It's Gardner. He's got the first down.
They bring Luan out to the tight end on the left, so they have both tackles on the same side.
Gonna give it to Derek Green. Runs into a wall at first, and he's brought down for no gain.
So they have 2 tackles on the end of the left side.
They're in a pistol set with that big bunch in front. 2nd down and goal at the 1. It's Gardner, and he's stopped at the line of scrimmage. Shazier makes the play. 13th play of the drive. Gardner rolls, wants to throw back to the corner, and got it to Buck. Touchdown. Matt Weil in for an all-important point after. Up and good. That's deadlocked this game again at 35. And now kick out of bounds. That's something you don't need. Now the question is, will there be a one-loss team against an undefeated team? We've got 5 minutes to figure it out. Ohio State's got the ball at the 35-yard line. Braxton Miller going the other way. Open field for Miller. Across midfield. Cuts back inside. Braxton Miller, another huge run. Down to the 32-yard line.
Here's the center, Corey Lindsley. Watch number 71. He's engaging his man. Now he's going to turn him back the other way and pick off another man in the process, and that enables Braxton Miller to break that thing all the way out the backside for a huge gain.
A 32-yard pickup. Hyde back in there with Miller now in the shotgun. And he'll get the call. I'm sure he'll hold on to the ball this time. Philly Brown joins the backfield. They're going to give him the handle. And Brown inside the 20, and he puts both arms around the football down to the 16-yard line. We promised you over 1,000 yards of offense. We've got it. Carlos Hyde inside the 10. Again, the pistol set. Braxton Miller with a 2nd down and 2. And it's Carlos Hyde. Hyde is close. He's in. No, he's not. At the 1. 1st and goal. Ohio State trying to regain the lead. And Hyde and Miller run into each other, and then Hyde powers in for the touchdown. Basil in for the point after. Remember, because of the kick out of bounds, they only had to go 65 yards, but they did it in a hurry. 6 plays, 2:41, and now 2:20 left for Michigan to do something about it. And then after Hyde's fumbled 13 plays, 41 yards and a touchdown. So they keep playing like they have been the last couple drives. We're still not going to be done for a while. Norfleet from the 4. And they bring him down before he can get to the 15-yard line. Nice job by the Buckeyes special teams. And the game here where we already had a fight in the first half. Gardner rips it. Incomplete, punches the intended receiver. And Gardner took a shot from Joey Bosa.
Most of Michigan's damage today has been through the air, over 360 yards passing. You can see the pressure inside is tough for a quarterback, not able to step up or step into a throw.
Gardner on 2nd down and 10. Throws across the middle and punches. He holds on to this one, and it takes 3 Buckeyes to bring him down. Gardner looked one way, comes back across the middle. Dillio inside the 40. Toussaint flanking Gardner in the backfield. He rolls behind his protection and throws incomplete. And Gallen, the big play guy, is to the top of your screen. Jake Butt, who's been big today, is lined up in a joint set in the slot on the left on 2nd down and 10. Gardner fires, got it complete, and it's Dillio again.
Boy, he's good. You know, he just knows where he's at in the field, in the middle of the field, has excellent hands, and he always comes up with that 1st down. They missed him in their offense for a few weeks when he was out with the knee injury.
The clock starts again now that they've got the change reset. Again, Michigan 2 timeouts remaining. They need a touchdown. Final 1:15. Gardner throws complete again. And this time it's Joe Reynolds.
And Gardner doing a nice job of just being patient and taking what that Ohio State defense will give him right now.
Down to a minute. Now the extra rusher comes. Gardner running out of time. Down he goes, and it's Bosa.
See, that's what I don't know that you can get away with. You got to throw that ball away if you're Devin Gardner. You feel it collapsing. Bring up 2nd and 10 with the clock stopped.
Ohio State thinking about a blitz. They'll back out of it. 4-man rush. Quick throw is complete and knocked out of bounds at the 32.
There's pressure on this 3rd down play. The last time he brought it, they got home for the sack on Devin Gardner.
8 yards to keep the drive alive. 31 yards away from a tie game again. Gardner, a throwback again on a screen to Toussaint. Toussaint inside the 20. Toussaint still going down to the 3-yard line.
They caught Ohio State in a blitz. They tried to bring pressure. Gardner rolls initially to his right and then throws back. Well executed, well timed, and they caught Ohio State in the right defense for that play.
29 yards down to the 2-yard line. And now they spike it to stop the clock with 35 seconds remaining. 2nd down and goal. Blitz coming. Gardner throws, touchdown, punches. Brady Holt's going to go for 2, I think, to try to win it right here.
Yep.
Holy smokes. Almost 114,000 watching with bated breath. Michigan for 2. Now they quiet down for the Wolverines offense. 3 yards away from a possible upset. Gardner, right side. It's intercepted. Ohio State intercepts it. Tyvis Powell saves the season.
Well, Gardner was looking for Dillio. His possession receiver, Ohio State, was locked in on number 9. They had him bracketed. And Tyvis Powell came from the inside and made the interception. Gardner had time. He just didn't have an open guy.
Braxton Miller with a reaction over on the sideline. So now we've got one last chance here, and it's going to be on the right foot of Matt Wild. And what his special teams can contribute. First onside kick attempt by Michigan this year. And it goes, I believe, to Roby. It is. And a celebration can almost start now. Another snap. Braxton Miller takes a knee. Urban Meyer's team goes to 24 straight wins. They had their hands full all day long. And now they're one play away from being 12-0. And they'll meet 11-1 Michigan State for the Big Ten championship game next week. Actually, they don't even have to take another snap, it appears. And Urban Meyer still perfect as Ohio State's coach. They don't come much better than that, everybody. Ohio State 42, Michigan 41.